Hello everyone, and welcome back to Scythe 2. This time, I'm not actually going to be playing this map properly. And the reason is very simple. I absolutely despise this map. I really do not like how this map is made. In my opinion, it is the worst map in Scythe 2 by quite a lot. And by going into God mode and playing through it, I'm going to show you why. Now the first problem I have with this map is, in Scythe 2, there are basically no damaging floors in the last few episodes. And in this map, every single room has a bunch of damaging floor in it. Well, maybe not every single room, but it's quite a few of them. And all of this lava area right here is damaging floor. The next reason is that, well, there's not a very large margin for existing here. But that isn't really the problem. The problem is that I just don't like the way the gameplay is designed. In many cases, what you have to do in this map is just ignore enemies and come back later, which is fine when it's not intended. But in this case it is. And I'm not too happy about that sort of design. Do I have the sound on? Yeah, I have the music on. The music is also pretty terrible in my opinion, at least compared to the theming of the WAD so far. The music itself isn't bad, but it doesn't really fit in with anything around it. I mean, if you listen to the track from MAP29, and the track for MAP30, and the tracks for the other two maps in between, well, not in between, before MAP28, then you'll see why this track doesn't really fit, if you can even hear it, that is. It's very quiet. This map also is broken in multiple aspects, but we'll get to that later. A lot of the things this map does wrong can be done right, but this is not an example of that. I mean, this area down here is sort of just a maze-like area in which you have a bunch of damaging floor, which doesn't seem like the most pleasant thing to me. I mean, you can leave, but I'm pretty sure that this area is mandatory. And this is taking a while. There isn't much ammo in this map, which is fine in most cases, but there's a couple things that make that annoying here. Another reason that this map is bad in my opinion is I talked about how the music doesn't fit before, but the gameplay theme as well also doesn't fit before. Well, it doesn't fit where it's placed in the WAD. A map like this would make a lot more sense, say in like the 3rd episode or something. Or the 4th. The 4th, this would be much better. But this is not that part of the map. Not map, the WAD. This is not that part of the WAD. Also, yeah, you can just walk over these bars. That is a design flaw. If the map does not work properly, that's a pretty good mark against it. And it's a pretty big mark when you can just walk over mandatory obstacles that are not meant to be walked over. To me, this map really feels like just a sort of burnout map that was made just because it had to be made to complete the WAD. And if you're making a map for that reason, then it's probably not going to be as good. Here's another area where you can just walk through bars that you're not supposed to be able to. Like, look at that. You don't even need to glide. You can just walk through. Here you'd need to glide, but I'm not going to mark it off for glides because I'm pretty sure this was made before glides were a recognized thing. Or at least widely recognized. This area is rather annoying when you're playing normally because of how much damaging floor there is, as well as the lack of radiation suits. I guess another thing this map does, which I don't really like, is it uses a good amount of... Oh, what was it? I forgot what I was going to say. But that doesn't matter. Oh yeah, I remembered now. Up until this point, I've been using the regular shotgun to fight things like Barons, Hell Knights. I don't really like that. Fighting enemies such as that with the regular shotgun, especially Afrits, and enemies with large health pools, is not something I find pleasant. Most of the time, at least. There's also a high amount of pain elementals in this map. And as far as I can tell, there's no real good way to get rid of them with the low ammo that you have. I mean, you've got a bit more ammo now than you did before, but not by much. If this map were not in Scythe 2, I believe that it would really just benefit the WAD, honestly. If you remove bad maps from a WAD, it is bound to get better. And this map does not really contribute to the WAD very much, if at all, in my opinion. As you can most definitely tell, this is my least favorite map in Scythe 2. And I am glad to be rid of it. I'm just gonna run through the rest of the map. No reason to prolong irritation. I guess my favorite thing about this map, because no map can be all bad, is its use of these brick textures. I don't like this brick texture as much as the one that's used in MAP27 and MAP28. But I do like how it's made like this sort of thing, where you stagger the texture and geometry. And this section down here is probably the worst part of the map. Because you're fighting on damaging floor with lots of enemies that take a while to kill, making it tedious. And of course, you have to fight an aphid in here. I mean, you can save the rad suit for here, which is probably your best bet. But that doesn't excuse the other areas in this map in which you'd want it. As I've said throughout this video, I really do not like this map. And it's easy to tell that. But that doesn't mean there are no redeeming qualities about this map. I like this end fight. It's probably my favorite thing about this map, but other than that, I don't have much good to say, so I'm going to leave now. That is MAP29 Dust to Dust of Scythe 2. Although I wish it wasn't. Goodbye, have a good day, and next time we're going to finish Scythe 2. Finally.